yeah, if you think you're going to do it in your own strength, then you know what? Yeah, you can do it.
COVID, it's been helping people move their businesses from offline or brick and mortar to online.
Systems are more important than skills as an entrepreneur today.
It's totally okay to reinvent yourself multiple times, especially when you're an entrepreneur.
Welcome to Profitable Coaching Conversations with Wendy Y. Bailey. If you're a coach, speaker, or industry expert, you're in the right place for sales and marketing wisdom and insight to grow your coaching business. Now, here's your host, Income Acceleration Mentor, Wendy Y. Bailey.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show. I'm so excited to bring you another amazing guest. And this guy and I go way back at the origin of this web TV show and audio podcast. And I'm just excited to have this conversation with him. Let me tell you a little bit about him first. Barrett Matthews is known as the media boss. I want him to tell us how he got that name. And he started out teaching people productivity, and then he realized that media was a real part of it. So we're going to get some yummy stuff today from Dr. Barrett Matthews. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, Wendy. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you here too. So tell me about Media Boss. How did you get the moniker Media Boss?
Well, actually, it was given to me by someone I worked with, but it actually stemmed from an idea I had, which was people controlling their media. You know, my background is in media. I majored in mass media arts in college at Hampton University. And
HU, a different HU, right?
Well, I tell people they can have the HU. At Hampton, we use words, but
I love it.
But the thing is that I when I was started in media, you know, if we were in television, we were using tapes. On the radio, we were using tape. It was way back a long time ago. There was no such thing as self-publishing books back then. If you wanted to be on a television show, you had to know a producer or something to get on. You couldn't.
It's not like that now.
It's not like that now. You can create your own. You can have your own TV, not only TV show, right? You can have your own TV channel. You can have your own podcast. You don't need a radio station producer to call you. You can self-publish a book. You can actually shoot a movie with an iPhone now. Yeah. Media has evolved. And so what I do is I want people to understand that you can control your own narrative now. You can be the boss. Yeah, I always tell people Oprah Winfrey used to be a media personality. Now Oprah is a media boss.
Yeah.
She owns the magazine.
She owns media boss because of all that it really brings with it.
Right, exactly. And you can do all of that. You don't have to wait for someone to ring your phone to call you to be on their show. You can create your own, as you did. You're a media boss. Yeah. And that's what I tell people, that you can do the same thing. So by me teaching people that's why it's not about me being a media boss. It's about you being a media boss. So that moniker is not necessarily about me. It's about what I want you to become.
I love it. The thing that I really appreciate about what you do, you turned the corner, so to speak. While you were teaching and training on productivity, you realized that there were systems and tools that people could leverage that would really create the kind of productivity they wanted, as well as influence and authority and all that good stuff. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that many of us are not as productive as we'd like to be. Yeah. Or we say we'd like to be, I should say. But I think the one thing that is lacking is systems, like you mentioned. We don't know what to implement in order to make ourselves more productive. So in other words, we don't put things in place to make things go smoothly. Yeah. And I always use the example of McDonald's, for instance. The reason Ray Kroc was interested in McDonald's was not because of their burgers. He saw that they had a system. So that's what made him interested in getting the McDonald's franchise from McDonald's brothers. They had a system in place. If you have a system in place, it makes things run smoother, and then you can move on and do other things because the system will work. You can plug people in as you go because the system will work for you. And the same thing applies to anyone else in their business.
Yeah. So who's your primary target audience? Who do you serve with this media technology productivity slice of space in the marketplace?
Mostly I serve speakers and coaches and trainers because these are the people that want to have clients all the time. They need people to need their service. Mm-hmm. One of the things that I'm teaching them, though, is that I think we've been taught the wrong thing. Mm-hmm. As we've been taught to go find that ideal client, that avatar client, mm-hmm. when instead we should be making ourselves findable for them.
Ooh, I'm so glad you said that. That's what I teach, Barrett. I'm like, you made my heart. I'm like, yes. Yes.
Well, when I say that is because this is why I promote using all forms of media, because Wendy Y has a great podcast, but all of Wendy Y's audience may not listen to podcasts. Mm-hmm. They may want to read her book. If you don't have a book, you're missing that audience. Mm-hmm. They may want to watch a TV show. If you don't have a TV show, you're missing that audience. So my point to people is to use all media. One of the people I point to is Kevin Hart. You know, what do you think Kevin Hart is funny or not? Kevin Hart is everywhere. He will not be ignored.
He has a new celebrity game show. I was
right. He has a movie on Netflix right now. Mm-hmm. He's done documentaries. He's got books. He's got audio books. He's got everything going because he makes it so you cannot ignore him. He is everywhere. So guess what? His audience can find him no matter where they are.
Yeah, great example. The same thing applies. Great example. The thing that my son says whenever he sees Kevin Hart, he's playing himself in every movie. You know, he's playing Kevin Hart. There have been a couple of exceptions that I've tried to highlight to him, but you're right. Kevin Hart is everywhere, and he's like in the top 3 comedians, most highest paid comedians.
He is, so, and the thing is, he made it so that he's everywhere, so you cannot ignore him. And I think a lot of people who want to use media for their business are not understanding that you can't, like I said, we've been taught some of the wrong things. We've been taught focus on one area and just stay there. Your audience is in different areas. And I call it ego-based marketing of our business, meaning that we focus on marketing in an area where we're most comfortable. But that's not where all of our audience is.
Yeah, we got to be everywhere.
We got to be everywhere because otherwise we'll miss them.
It's so good to hear you say that. Like you're preaching to the choir when you say it to me.
I know I am.
But you know, it's like every time I think of what else I can do, I don't think of adding a whole new, how do I want to say it? I don't think of adding a whole new, I offer this. Mm-hmm. It is, wow, where can I go to leverage what I'm already doing?
Smart. You don't need to reinvent the wheel.
Clubhouse all the time, Barrett. And I repurpose those by putting them in my academy, which adds value to my academy members. So that's brilliant.
I mean, it is smart. The wheel will not get any around. There's no need reinventing it. Mm-hmm. Just keep repurposing like that content, like you said.
Yeah, very good, very good. Last question. Mm-hmm. I want to talk about your 3 books, but I want to hear you tell us about Dr. Barrett Matthews. Like I saw that in your bio and I was like, well, Barrett needs to tell everybody about this Dr. Barrett Matthews. How did that come about for you?
I'll give you the Cliff Note version of it.
Okay.
I met a gentleman by the name of Dr. Clyde Rivers a few years ago at a conference. He and I hit it off. They actually gave me an award at the conference, which I was totally not expecting to receive. And I definitely wanted to get closer to this gentleman because he has an organization called I Change Nations, where they go around the world promoting civility to different nations, different dignitaries all over the place. And he came to DC one day and he said, I want you to write a book. Now, I had already written 2 books by then, but he said, I want you to write a book on execution and execution in business. And I said, okay, I can do that. And he said, I want you to tie it to more of an international flavor too, because we're going to be promoting this internationally. I said, okay. So I wrote the book. But before that, he told me, he said, I think we can get this in some schools, some colleges, some universities around the world. I said, really? Wow. He said, and I think there may be an honorary doctorate in it for you as well. I'm like, what? And he says, you don't know who you're talking to. And I said, I apparently don't. So I did the book. So I remember around the start of COVID, and at April of 2020, I was walking around my block just getting some air. And I had my phone with me, my phone dinged, and it's a picture of a degree, an honorary doctorate degree. I was amazed. He also, right after that, he made me a World Civility Ambassador with his organization, I Change Nations. And I have to say, Wendy, I'm still kind of overwhelmed and humbled by the honor, because since then, the gentleman, he's been named a king in Ghana, and he asked me to be one of his royal advisors. I'm a royal advisor to a king. What? So yeah, kind of amazing to me. I'm still overwhelmed by it.
And the thing you told me before we started the recording is it's something you prayed for.
I did. Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up. I asked God to use me to make an impact on the world, doing what he wants me to do. So I get to promote God and civility around the world, working with this king who, he's not just working in Ghana, he's working all over the place. So it's a special honor. And I remember someone asked me, so wow, you may be going to Ghana a lot. Are you going to do it? Are you going to do it? I said, I prayed for this. I have to do it. Yeah, it's what I asked for. So I have to do it. So it's amazing. And I'm honored and I'm blessed. And I'm just very grateful for it.
Yeah, and we're honored to have you here. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to go through our profitable wisdom segment. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Dr. Denise Dennis, and you are tuned in to the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Like, comment, review, and subscribe now so you're notified when the next episode happens.
Hi, I'm Allison Lex, here with Jenny Wright, and you're tuned in to the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey.
Like, comment, review, and subscribe now so you're notified when the next episode goes live.
Hi, I'm Dr. Barrett Matthews, and you're tuned into the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Like, comment, review, and subscribe now so you're notified when the next episode goes live.
So welcome back. We're talking with the Dr. Barrett Matthews, who's known as the media boss, or a media boss, I think is what you prefer me to say.
That's right.
And, I want to go through our profitable wisdom segment, but there's some nuggets along the way that I've asked Dr. Barrett Matthews to share with us. So who's had the greatest influence on you in your life, Barrett?
Well, I know it's cliche for me to say God, but it's true. But I'd also have to say, my parents. My parents have been very open with all their children as far as letting us choose our path. They worked 30 plus years in the government. My aunts and uncles were either government workers or teachers, from the DC area. So that's what they do here. And my brother and I especially chose not to go that route. And we chose the entrepreneur route. We never had anyone in our family just say, hey, become an entrepreneur, but we just wanted to be different. And I always knew I wanted to be something different. But, as much as my mother would have liked for me to go government, because, that's safe for her son. She wanted that. But they never discouraged me. And I remember my father saying one time we were at dinner with one of my cousins, he said, my son says that he's going to be wealthy one day doing it this way. And I got to believe him.
I love it.
And right. That's all you want. Yeah. That's all you want. They've never discouraged me from doing anything. And that was a huge influence. And the fact that my father always took care of business. He always just and my father was always one of those people. I think had he not had 4 children, a wife, and a house to take care of, he probably would have gone the entrepreneurial route, because he definitely wanted to take more risks, but he knew he had to make sure he took care of everybody else first.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It was a different era for
much
him.
Different.
Same thing for my parents. And because the era was different, the whole notion of security rested in having a job.
And it was so like, you're talking about a family who had very few homeowners. And they moved into a neighborhood, a pretty new neighborhood at the time, and bought a home. And it was that neighborhood they moved into, Glenarden, Maryland, it was a suburban Black neighborhood. And it was something that, they were, even to this day, people in the Prince George's County, Maryland area look to Glenarden a lot of times to see what they're doing. So it's just my parents have been there since 1964, and so it's just one of those things that at that time they were moving, as the Jeffersons say, moving on up to it. So they were into a different area that people aspired to, and I'm proud of them for what they did and how they did with their family. I was born a year later after they moved there.
Very cool. Very cool. You said Glenarden. Is that, are you a member of the mega church in Glenarden?
I'm not, but that's where it originated. That's where the church originated. I'm not a member of the church, but it originated. It's funny because there was a hardware store, kind of like a Home Depot. It used to be Heckinger's was the name of the store, as a big warehouse type of store. And that's where they first moved the mega church. They took that building out and made it into a church. And then they moved to another location in the recent years.
Very cool. Very cool.
My sisters went to high school with the pastor there.
Okay. Small world, right?
Small world, yeah.
Yeah. The last time I visited Maryland, I actually worshiped there. So I totally get it. And I ran into Willie Jolly and his wife.
Yeah. I saw Willie Jolly there when I went there before, yes.
Yeah, mega church, but really, really founded and rooted in some biblical principles and faith. You know,
a lot of good people.
I loved it a lot. What's the best business advice you've ever received, Barrett?
The best business advice I received was from my good friend, Dr. Myron Golden, and that was, I love Myron. Yeah, that's my boy. He said, don't get attached to the outcome. Meaning that when you're dealing with products or services that you offer, that you sell, don't get offer it to the best of your ability, but don't get attached to whether they buy, whether they don't.
Yeah.
Because when you get attached, that energy, that emotion, it transfers to someone else. They can tell if you're desperate about getting that sale, and people don't like desperation. So,
and I think that's awesome. I also think that not getting attached to the outcome means that you can serve it up, but it's up to them to take what you give them and make out of it. You know, so it's that too. Yeah.
That it took me a while to get there. I'm gonna be honest. It took me a while to get to that point. And I remember I was at Dr. Fraser's Power Networking Conference, and I don't know what came over me, but I just started to say I'm not going to get attached to the outcome. And when I did it, I made more sales that day than I had doing that.
People smell what a friend of mine calls commission breath. You know, like if you're hungry, if you're desperate for the sale, and you just let me go make this money kind of attitude, then people can sense that, right?
Yes.
They can feel that, and it's a repellent. It's not an attractor for sure.
As you and I know, Myron never has any problem making sales.
Never.
But Myron will always tell you, I don't need you to do
high ticket sales. Yes. High ticket sales. I'm talking, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 per person.
Oh, he called me one day and said, hey, this was a few years ago. Hey, I made my first $1 million sale.
Yep.
And he always says that the reason you're not making $1 million sales is because you don't have $1 million offer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So create the offer. You'll find somebody.
Too. I got to get Myron on here because he is just amazing. I just adore Myron and Dee Dee, his daughter.
Yes.
So the third question I want to ask you, and it escapes me. That leads right into where we need to be. Mm-hmm. What's been your largest single sale? What was the amount? And tell us about the circumstances and what did you do to celebrate?
Well, the largest sale I've made was a $35,000 sale. Mm-hmm. And it was a situation where I had spoken at an event. And somebody wanted my services. Well, first they wanted to just sit and talk to me. They wanted to talk to me. So we scheduled a time to talk and went over what their issues were that they were having, because I wanted to see if I could help them, first of all. And I let them know that they showed interest in what I was doing, but I told them, I said, look, I don't work with everybody. And I had an application for people that want to work with. I had an application, had them fill out the application because I needed to see if it's something I could do. And I let them know that we could work together. And they were excited about it. I had them put down a deposit. We did from then, and they paid the rest right after that. And then the experience after that was just fun. Now, we're like this, we're very, very tight working together, and it's an enjoyable experience. But I mean, the fun part of it was that, just like we just talked previously, I wasn't attached to the outcome. If they did not decide to go forward with me, it didn't matter to me. It wasn't going to be my life.
Kept it moving. Yeah.
Right. I would have kept it moving, and we still could have been friends. I had no problem with that. It wasn't about that, but it was a great experience. And they actually have referred me to other people since then. So it's been cool.
When people refer you out, it really says a lot about the kind of service and reputation and connection you have with them. So I think that's amazing. True. What has helped you move through those times when you thought about giving up in your business? And I know you're like a serial entrepreneur, you're like multi-passionate, all of those words. So have there been times when you felt like giving up, and what did you do when you felt that and you moved forward beyond that feeling?
Well, it's not necessarily giving up. It's, am I doing the right thing? If that makes sense.
Those are different questions. Yeah.
Yeah. And because I don't know, because as far as giving up goes, I burned the bridge behind me. So I always tell people I'm unemployable. So I can't go get a 9 to 5. I'm unemployable. And what I mean by that is that I've been an entrepreneur for so long that if I had to sit through an interview, I'd be offended. Like, who are you to be asking me these questions?
Yeah. I'm laughing like that because I say exactly the same.
I know you. It's how we get. After a while, I'm like, why am I sitting here answering these questions to you? What do I have to prove to you? And I'm not saying that anybody shouldn't have a job. It's just that I've become that way, and it wasn't overnight. It's just over time I've become that way. That I don't feel I should have to prove myself to anybody. So meaning I've cut the bridge, so I can't sit through an interview. Yeah. So I have to go and just find a way to make it happen. Yeah. And I told someone today, I was talking to someone today about saying that, people say I can't do this. I said, when you say can't, you tell your brain to stop doing what it was meant to do. It was meant to figure things out. So I had to just figure things out when I'm faced with that challenge. How do I get it done? So that's pretty much what I do.
You're a smart man, Barrett. I'm
glad somebody thinks so.
Yeah, because all of the things you're saying, I'm like, me. That's me. I'm officially.
We've been through similar experiences as an entrepreneur.
Yeah, it's true.
It ain't for the faint of heart.
No, not at all. It's hard. I saw a post on Facebook yesterday, and it was someone who's been in the entrepreneurial space for a number of years. And basically she was like, okay, what you see today and all of this great success I've had, what you don't know is I had to get through my brother being murdered. What you don't know is my father, who was my biggest cheerleader, died in 2021. Right. What you don't know is people stole from me. What you don't know is, and I was just like, yes, girl, yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of what I've heard people say about, like, they want to play golf like Tiger Woods. I'm like, do you really? You know what Tiger has to do
all those back surgeries
and even before that, Tiger would get up before the sun came up, going out hitting balls till he was hurt, till he was sore. Are you willing to do that? And then he would do it until the sun went down again. Yeah. Are you willing to do all those things in the heat? And his father used to throw rocks at him on the course just to make sure he focused. Stuff like that. Are you willing to put yourself through those things?
Most people would not be.
No.
That's the honest to goodness truth. Most people would not. So, when you get here, and you and I were talking about this before, when you get here and you have the longevity, you look at things like looking at a job and going, nope, that's not an option. I also say I'm officially unrecruitable. Meaning that, I'm not somebody that's going to look at network marketing or multi-level marketing and be interested. No, this is mine. I get to decide what I do in my business, in my life. And that keeps me sane away from, well, why did they do it that way? But it doesn't make sense that they would do it that way. It's just no. And what's your greatest personal accomplishment outside of your business?
Well, I mean, I guess I would say what we mentioned earlier, the doctorate, the honorary doctorate, and the World Civility. And I'd really have to say the World Advisor. That to me is still, it really hasn't even set in. Huh? It hasn't even set in. The fact that I'm a royal advisor to a king in Ghana. Yeah. That in the motherland. That is so cool to me. It's just like, wow. If somebody said, does that make you a prince? I said, no. I said, I'm a royal advisor. God knows I don't want the responsibility of being a prince right now.
What is it? And this is me thinking of Aladdin. you're a vizier, right? That's an advisor, is a vizier.
Or liaison, however you want to say it. It's my responsibility to bring different opportunities to the kingdom, and to vet these opportunities as well.
Dude,
and
vetting people and stuff.
Yeah, and also to bring people, because I'm not sure if you're aware, Ghana has a come back home type of program going where for African Americans, you can get dual citizenship.
Yeah, I think
so.
It's
and I'm also supposed to be helping to bring that in fruition too, with bringing more people. I already talked to some of my friends. My college roommate, he said, "Put me in. I want to be a citizen." You too? Yeah. Sometimes the way things are going here, makes you wonder.
Well, and I'm a believer that I want to connect with my roots.
I do too.
I want to go way, way back to do that. I know where my parents are from, and I can connect to those roots, but even beyond that, like their parents.
Yeah, right. I know Reuben West said to me, he was in Kenya. He went to Ethiopia. He went on this whole thing. He said to the gentleman there, he said, for the first time in my life, I'm a man. And they said, something you want to tell us? He said,
right.
No. He said, no, I'm not a black man. I'm just a man.
Yeah.
And I said, wow, I want to know what that feels like.
That's the content of his character, not the color of his skin.
That's it. That's it. But see, it sounds so idealistic when we think about the quote from Dr. King. But when you actually experience it and live it, I'm sure that takes on a totally different meaning.
That's a whole wow. I want some of that too.
Right. Me too.
I want some of that too. So count me in.
Okay. All right.
For dual citizenship, and I want to go to the motherland in Ghana. Are you planning to do the trip, the pilgrimage that they do every year to, is it Accra, Ghana?
Well, I'm not planning on doing it that way per se. I'd rather just go over with the king himself and just let him, take me where he wants me to go.
Hang out with the king, Barrett. I hear you.
Right. I'd rather have him take me where he wants me to go. We a few of us have gone, some of the other liaisons stuff, we've gone through a diplomacy training and so forth, just to make sure that we know how to handle ourselves over there.
Very nice. So this is no small thing. Like
no, it's not.
I didn't think it was, but they're preparing you. Like this is a legitimate. I love it. Let
me tell you this, how this particular thing. He wanted me to do a podcast on civility and interview. He'd feed me some people. I said, "You're going to feed me guests to interview from around the world? Sign me up. That's all I got to do is just interview them." And so I called him one day because he was going to give me a list of people he wanted me to contact. And he goes, "Look, Dr. B, I got something else for you. I got something exciting." Really? I said, "Oh, wow, you got something exciting. I'm interested." Then he tells me that they're going to make him a king. And I'm like, "Cool, I know a king." He said, "But I want you to be one of my royal liaisons, one of my advisors." I'm like, "Me?"
You know some stuff, Barrett. You can handle that.
Yeah, I can. I believe that. I was just honored and overwhelmed. That was one of the things that, like I said, that to me has got to be my biggest personal achievement.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So we're going to come back and get Barrett's parting thought. We'll be right back. Being a member of a business mastermind can lead to exponential growth in your coaching business and in your bottom line. But how do you know if the mastermind is right for you? The right mastermind offers an opportunity for you to discover new growth insights and proven business strategies while putting them into practice with the right tools to grow and scale your coaching business. The right mastermind connects you to other high-achieving coaches so you can partner and collaborate. The right mastermind guides your efforts to grow and scale your coaching business. In just a few days, I'm hosting an information call so you can discover how to reserve your seat in the Profitable Coaches Mastermind. You can get all the details at profitablecoachesmastermind.com. You're invited to join this group networking and strategy call, and it's absolutely free. And so is the mastermind. That's right, the Profitable Coaching Mastermind is a high-value complementary opportunity for you to discover how to grow your coaching business. It's also a hands-on workshop designed to offer strategy to scale your coaching business. It's also an activation session with implementation tools you can use to grow and scale your coaching business. That's right, the Profitable Coaching Mastermind is totally complimentary. So save your spot so you can discover how to join the mastermind. This is not a sales call. Nothing will be sold. There will be no selling. There will be no offer. It is an opportunity, so save your spot. This is your opportunity for a collaborative interview, and you get to ask questions and get answers. Hi, Income Acceleration Mentor Wendy Y. Bailey here, and I'm so excited about the Profitable Coaches Mastermind. The information call is designed to give you a little bit more information about it and for you to sort of decide if it's the right time for you at this point. Remember, the information call is complimentary, and so is the mastermind. I'm so excited about it because I got to tell you, I have pulled 3 key pieces out of my body of work. We're going to talk in the mastermind about predictable coaching income. We're going to talk about business operations. And we're also going to talk about how you put your productivity into overdrive to create the sustainability in your coaching business. So be sure to sign up for the information call. I'm going to give you all the skinny when we meet. And I hope to see you in the mastermind as well. See you then.
Hi, I'm Gina Calvano, and you're tuned into the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Like, comment, review, and subscribe now so you're notified when the next episode goes live.
Hi, I am Rodney Dow, and you're tuned into the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Like, comment, review, and subscribe now so you're notified when the next episode goes live.
Hi, I'm Morgana Ray, and you're tuned in to the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Please like, comment, review, and subscribe now so you're notified when the next episode goes live.
Okay, so welcome back. We've been talking with Dr. Barrett Matthews, who is a world advisor to a king in Ghana. Lots of stuff we talked about. So if you missed it, rewind, go back, watch the beginning. But is there one thought that you'd like to leave everyone with, Barrett, Dr. B? When you think of all the things we've talked about, is there one thing that you want people to really see and hear and think based on our conversation?
Yeah, the one thing, Wendy Y, that I want them to understand is that you have a voice. And there are people in this world that need to hear your voice. They need to read what you have to say. They need to see you. They need to understand that there's something that God blessed you with, and only you, that the world needs to know about. And I know a lot of people are saying, yeah, but nobody wants to hear what I have to say. There's someone out there. You may not understand the vastness of the world, and that there is someone out there. There are a lot of someones out there that want to hear, and some need to hear it from you, the way you convey it, because someone else may have a message that you may think is similar, but that's not the way they want to hear it or need to hear it. So understand that you have something, a unique gift that God, it's actually scriptural. You have a unique gift that God has given you, but you have to get it out. Otherwise, he's going to make sure that someone else gets their gift out, and you will feel a part of you unfulfilled because you did not put out what God gave for you to give. So that is my parting thought.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And you have a gift you want to give everyone. You want to describe it, and then we'll put the link in the show notes.
Yeah, I find that a lot of people, when do I have products, services, businesses, whatever, but they are not sure how to get it out, and they're not getting clients to pay them for their services. And I see it all the time. I'm sure you see it all the time in dealing with people in coaching, that I'm not finding people that want to pay me. I got this great thing and people aren't paying me for it, and I need to make money. Otherwise, I'm going to have to go get a job or whatever. Well, the thing is, there's a ways that you have to get clients that want to pay you. And one of the things that I do is I specialize in helping people to find those ideal clients that want to pay you, but they just don't know you exist. So my gift is to show you is this 5 ways to paying clients, and I just want to help you to get those clients. And if you can find those clients or make yourself findable for them, hint, 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 then you'll understand what this is. It's a video training that I put together to show people how to do that. You just watch the training, you'll hopefully learn some things. And so that's what it is.
Nice. Thank you so much, Barrett, for being here.
Thank you.
It's been a delight, as always, chatting with you and hearing about what you're up to in the amazing world that you find yourself in these days. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for doing what you do. Congratulations on all the years you put in, and for everyone who is paying attention to Wendy Wild right now, please tell someone else to do the same.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. So be sure to join the after party at profitablecoachingsociety.com, and we'll see you next time with another amazing guest. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much for tuning into Profitable Coaching Conversations with Wendy Y. Bailey. Be sure to join us at the after party at www.profitablecoachingsociety.com. We'll see you next time for more sales and marketing wisdom and insight from Wendy Y. and her amazing guests. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you know when new episodes are posted.